What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over some more state of play rumors. The date was fast approaching anyway. We kept hearing September, and, we kind of have to get our bodies ready, right? Our spirits and our minds, all that stuff. Got to get it ready for, at this point, very much a state of play. You know, when it was originally rumored, I think there was some fight back from the fans, right? Where it's like, well, please, can there still be a showcase? Maybe these leakers are getting it wrong. Well, now you got two of them, and granted, the weeks that they're talking about are actually not the same. They kind of conflict each other, so we'll talk about that in a second, but you got two different people that are doubling down that it will be a state of play, so we'll talk about what that means as well as this video goes. So first we have Lunatic Ignis, who we've talked a little bit about. I did a Black Myth Wukong kind of rumor video on this individual before as well, and they say that next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, they're going to do something big. Is going to be a big announcement, and it seems like that would be the PS5 Pro, right? There could be something else, I guess, but it very much seems like the PS5 Pro. And the state of play will take place either on September 19th or 20th. So that's 2 weeks today or 2 weeks tomorrow, right? So that's their specific rumor. And I believe that came from their Discord. Now we go to Jeff Grubb, who is the originator, right? He was the first one to talk about that it would be a state of play, not a showcase. So he also doubles down. I heard about a PlayStation state of play in the last week-ish of September, and they could have the PS5 Pro announcement there, or can happen anytime before that. Now, the last week of September is the 23rd to the 27th. I believe Tokyo Game Show specifically is the Thursday through the weekend, right? So the 26th, I think, through the 29th. So if they're going to do a state of play the final week of September, I personally think it would either be the Tuesday, Wednesday. It'd be the 24th or 25th. Now, I guess there's not too much difference between that and the first rumor, right? Because the first rumor is that it's going to take place the 19th or 20th, which would be the Thursday, Friday before, and then Jeff Grubb is the basically 1 week after that. So let me just declare something. I'll go out there and I'll kind of put myself, in the front lines here. You're not going to do a state of play at the same time the Tokyo Game Show is going on. It's just not going to happen. I think you do Tokyo Game Show and the state of play would be right before it, because it all kind of like rolls into each other, right? Like if you do a PS5 Pro announcement next week or the week, like within the next 2 weeks, right? If you do the Pro announcement in the next 2 weeks, you got that. Then a few days after that, you do a state of play, or maybe you do them on the same day. So like the Pro happened, because that's the other thing. I guess that's the difference between the two leakers, right? Like Jeff Grubb says state of play, and then like the PS5 Pro could be there, or it could be anytime before. And then Lunatic Ignis says, okay, here's a specific kind of date for both of them, and they're not the same, right? You would announce the PS5 Pro on a different day than you do the state of play. So I don't know. It seems like both of them are kind of willing to say that the PS5 Pro would get announced not at a state of play. So then it just rolls in. You got the PS5 Pro, you got a state of play, then you got Tokyo Game Show. And look, I mean, we already kind of know what's going to be at Tokyo Game Show. Death Stranding 2 is the big one. Really not a ton of like the big names secondarily, right? Like you know some of them. I think Astrobot's going and a couple other things, but it's not Ghost of Tsushima 2 is not going to appear there, right? But yet again, you don't know if you announce the Pro and then you announce maybe a game or two with it. I still don't think any of those games would really translate and show up at Tokyo Game Show, but at least you'd have more announcements. So that's kind of that part to it. And then just really quickly, because we've talked about it before, as to the state of play itself, I know people would be mad. I can see the comments. I see them in my head right now as I'm recording this. It's okay. I mean, I respect you guys, and I know that you're coming at it, from hopefully the right place. I mean, look, I'm willing to kind of wait to see what the state of play would be. I get it. Like, they've had very weak state of plays before. They've also had very good ones. They've had state of plays that are better than some of their showcases. So, like, I get it, and I get the optics look bad, especially because it's just been so long since a showcase. Like, I think that's what really looks bad about this. But if they do a state of play, and if you show Death Stranding 2, you show Ghost of Tsushima 2, you show 2 to 4 other games, and say the whole state of play is like 8 games, say there's some indies or some VR games or whatever, there's 8 games in all, but we get a Ghost 2, and then maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3 other games, like a Cory Barlog game, or, pick and choose, a Bend game or a Blue Point, not all of them, but some of them, right? If you do a state of play that's 8 games, that Death Stranding 2 is one of them, Ghost of Tsushima is another, and then you give me one or two other big ones, I'm willing to take that state of play every day of the week. I don't know about you guys. Like, I understand that showcases almost are more about quantity over quality. Just like give us more and more, like give us 25 announcements, right? Because they're bound to be some really good ones in that 25, right? I get that. I understand that. But I guess that's the risk of doing a state of play. State of plays are smaller. State of plays, you maybe only got 5 to 10 games. And if there's only one that's good, you're going to disappoint people. Whereas a showcase, there's 25, and maybe 5 or 6 or 7 of them are really good, and the rest of them maybe aren't even so good. They might actually like the showcase more, right? Because it's just literally more of them. So I get it. I understand it. But I'm willing to kind of wait because I'm willing to see, okay, can you do a good state of play? Because if you do a good state of play, then I'm satisfied. You know what I mean? I got what I wanted. It's not that big of a deal to me. So we'll see what happens. And honestly, we'll see what happens, I guess, within 3 weeks. 3 weeks today is Tokyo Game Show, and I think by then the PS5 Pro would have already been announced and the state of play would have already happened in 3 weeks from today. So it's all going to happen very quickly. In the meantime, let's all enjoy and buy Astrobot, okay? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.